All right, good morning, everyone. We are here at the 2025 U.S. Mountain Running Championships at the Sunapee Scramble here at Sunapee, New Hampshire. I'm Paul Kirsch. I'm part of the race committee here and also part of the Team USA staff. Welcome, everybody, and I want to send out a huge shout-out to Dani Moreno and EmKay Sullivan from the SubHub Podcast, and also James from the Steep Stuff Podcast. If you haven't checked out either of their podcasts, as a big fan of sub-ultra stuff myself, I always felt sad that I felt like every ultra podcast was my only choice, and they're just been so great about interviewing everybody who is doing anything sub-ultra, from short mountain to Golden Trail stuff and everything in between. So thank you, and welcome EmKay, Dani, and James.
Hey guys, we're excited to be here.
Yeah, we're back 2 years later. Who would have thought?
Super excited to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, and I'm going to show, before I pass it over to them for kind of pregame, just going to give you a quick show of what we're hoping will work for all the cameras today. At the top corner of the screen is actually the start-finish. This is the race map. That whole yellow highlighted section, we're going to have a six-wheeler with a Starlink and a camera, one for the men's race and one for the women's race. And then we will also have those red camera icons are some static cameras along the way. A bunch of the second lap there, which is that orange in the bottom right, we will have one camera there, but it's just a remote area. It's all hiking trail in there, so we don't really have the ability to get a Starlink in there, but we'll still be able to call places from there. So that's what we hope. We're hoping for really good coverage today. Thanks everybody for joining it. And I'm gonna switch it over here, kind of do a little preview here. Let me bring up, we've got kind of a slide preview. Let me bring this up. And here we go. I'm going to mute myself. I'll pass it over to the dynamic trio.
All right, I'll take this first slide. Yeah, Sarah, we hear you. Paul is doing his best. He is out in the conditions right now. It is full New England weather this weekend. So yeah, big thanks to Paul and the 603 team. Let's start with this course that he was referring to. On the first lap, I don't know, personally, I've been seeing a lot of Instagram stories of all the athletes just in awe about how technical this course is going to be, along with a little bit of sloppy conditions. But this first lap starts with 2.3 miles. It's on a ski slope, so it's very, very steep. And like we said, there is going to be a follow cam, I'm assuming, on a mountain bike. Then
it's on a six-wheeler, so they're going to be keeping up really well.
Let's go. That's going to be awesome. And then we switch. That's on like a service road cat track with 1,500 feet of ascent. So that is quite a steep, just out of the chute. And then they switch to a fast, almost 2 mile descent on ski trails before they go into the second lap, which is 3.5 miles total ascent. So it's quite a big climb on that second lap. So I would imagine if somebody blows their engine on that first lap, that second lap is going to hurt a lot. That is also on a ski slope. For anyone who's ever run on a ski slope, traction is key. So let's keep an eye on the shoes that all the athletes are wearing today, especially with it having rained yesterday. And there's also an aspect of it where it goes up a technical bit. If any of you follow Rachel Tomajic, Anna Gibson, Courtney Coppinger, they all posted some cool stories within the last couple of days of them navigating lots of routes, lots of rocks, lots of hands, basically on all fours that second lap. And then we go into that final descent, which that is the famous one we've seen lots of clips of, where people are navigating just like through the forest, that east beast type of terrain as they come into the finish line.
Yeah, and we are getting a decent amount of questions about the weather out there today. They got 1 inch of rain yesterday, so the course is very, very muddy, but today it's beautiful. Upper 40s, sunny, but very windy. Oh.
You guys want me to? I could take this
Yeah,
one.
you can
Yeah,
take this
go
one,
for it.
James.
Awesome. All right, guys, this is an exciting one. What a crazy selection. So for the women, obviously the top 3 women eligible runners are going to be selected because the reigning world champion Grayson Murphy has an auto selection, and then for the men's side, the top 4 men of eligible runners are going to be selected as well. So it's going to be absolutely crazy how deep it's going to be. I love this, how these particular types of races, or at least this one for the Mountain Classic, the up down, if you will, as well as the ascent, is show up, prove yourself. There's not going to be any applications. This is the best on the day are going to be able to earn their spot. So it's going to be a very exciting day.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit in our preview, James. I don't know what you think about it, but we were talking about how in the track and field world, the world champion is just like an addition to the team. They don't take a full spot. And so, like, it's kind of a bummer that we only get to qualify 3 women here. Like, I feel like we should have 5 total women with Grayson being the world champion.
It's funny you say that. I thought the same thing. In fact, I had misquoted a couple times on the pod up until Paul had kind of clarified for me. I originally thought it was going to be 4 women, and then with the 5th being Grayson's spot, and that's not the case, which it is a bummer. It's kind of unfortunate. It would be nice to be sending because we all know, I mean, these are some of the best, if not the best women in the world, like world class. Whoever we're sending is going to be a team that's going to obviously compete for medals. It would be nice to have an extra just to show some dominance. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you already said this, but the World Championships will be in Spain, September 25th through 28th. And the course looks fairly technical from what we've seen. We are getting kind of mixed reviews depending on who you ask about the course itself. But this Sunapee Scramble course seems to be like kind of the perfect selection for what we're sending over to Spain.
Yeah, this is going to be just this is a great course, great everything. I mean, like you said, whatever group that we send it's going to be very competitive.
Yeah. And the fall in Spain notoriously can also be very wet. So just an extra asterisk, exclamation point that this is a great course to select that team. And then shout out to Breakfast, great name on YouTube, commenting there, saying it's overcast, or Josh H. It's overcast, a bit wet. No rain today though. Hallelujah.
I see someone, shout out to Run Slud in there. Daddy Dan, I assume he's referring to Dan Kurtz, 2023 champion, one of the best downhillers on the planet. It's going to be interesting to see what Dan's able to do, especially being in his backyard at a race like Sunapee. And it's pronounced Sunapee, not Sunapee. See that? There's a little Sunapee pronunciation in there.
Should we chat about some of the people that we have out on the course today? Yeah, we have 20 former members of the U.S. Mountain or Trail teams competing today, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. We talked about somebody like Andy Wacker, who has been on 17 different U.S. teams so far, and he's out here trying to make another team. We've got 2 U20 medalists, Lauren Gregory and Talon Hull, and 4 world champions, all on the women's side, I must say, which is pretty freaking cool. Casey Edmond, 2011, Mandy Ortiz, 2013, Ali Ostrander, 2015, and Ali Mack, 2022 world VK champion.
And yeah, we're roughly 18 minutes out from the start of the first race, which will be the men's race, taking off at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and women will start 15 minutes behind at Eastern time, which will be nice considering that they both have 2 loops to go. And this not only includes the folks that are trying to make our USA team, but people who are also competing for age group awards in the New England circuit. And then folks just getting out there, wanting to have a good time in this great classic race.
This resort itself, vertical wise, we're going to be gaining about 1,500 feet of vertical per loop. The top elevation is going to be 2,743 feet, and the base elevation is going to be 1,230 feet. So it's going to be really interesting seeing. I know a lot of these competitors are going to be coming from the Mountain Wests at altitude. So what that's going to kind of play in with so many folks coming out, how much faster of a race it's going to be. how that'll kind of translate.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. All right, let's get into the players. Like we said, we have a plethora of world champions, which not many countries can say that, which is insane. But we just have a lot of folks here, whether world champion or not, that are world class. And so, yeah, I mean, to me, this could basically be a Golden Trail World Series race.
Yeah, and just a little bit of some perspective for how long this race will take these athletes. Dan Kurtz back in 2023 won this in kind of similar conditions. It was like a muddy day. I think it was actively raining on the day of the race 2 years ago, but Dan Kurtz won in 61 minutes. And on the women's side, Grayson Murphy won in 68 minutes. And on the men's side, we have almost everyone returning from like the top 5, which is pretty crazy. I think the only person that I like don't see on this list is Alexandra Ricard, the Canadian who was second.
Yeah, no, it is fun that with it being like kind of northeast coast, we do have some Canadian friends dropping down. But let's highlight some of these women. As you can see, many names are listed here. Some of the names we want to call out are Gabriella Brinkley, Jamie Brusa, Mary Beth Shalanga, Emily Clark, Andy Cornish, all the names you see listed here. A couple of notable ones, Anna Gibson coming off her first marathon in Zagama, which is in Basque Country, Spain, just last weekend with a very strong 11th place. Saw a couple stories of her saying, you know, out for her first run, going to check out the course, etc. So very excited to see her do this turnaround. Anna Gibson is very well known for doing these incredible doubles, one of them being the Olympic trials and Broken Arrow not too long ago. So really excited to see her on the start line. As mentioned, we do have world champion Casey Enman. Last year, she had a great battle with Rachel Tomajic.
2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago.
We keep doing that.
We keep doing that. EmKay and I were here 2 years ago, and it feels like yesterday. That's what happens as you get older. It all just blurs together. But yeah, great battle with Casey Enman and Rachel Tomajic 2 years ago, where they both made the team for Innsbruck. We also have Lauren Gregory. This is a really interesting storyline personally for me today, and I'm sure for EmKay and James, just because she is coming off of injury. But right before she was injured, she got on the podium of a couple of Golden Trail World Series races, not National Series races. And Lauren is just a weapon on this type of terrain. And she also lived here pretty recently. I'll do a couple more and then we could dive into a little bit more in depth. Megan Lacey, multiple-time Team USA member. Renee Mettiver, also a former team or a USA champion. Allie McAttack McLaughlin, as we mentioned, she is a world champion, also famous for getting the crowns or the Strava crowns on stuff like the Manitou Incline, and just a frequent in the Golden Trail World Series. They call her the Rocket for great reason. We also have Mandy Ortiz, who we mentioned was an under-20 champion. I believe this could be her first time making the senior team, which is really exciting. Ali Ostrander, it seems like we have a lot of Ali Ostrander fans in the chat. Just one of those athletes that can do it all, has made it to the Olympic trials, great steeplechase, world-class steeplechaser, but also in many top tens at Golden Trail World Series. Rachel Tomajic, who also is a multi-team USA member. Who else do you guys want to call out?
Ooh, Sophie Wright. It's a new name, Alaskan-born mountain runner. Has had some top finishes both at Mount Marathon and has won Cirque Series Alyaska. This is her first. She's a Trail Team Elite selection. This is her first U.S. mountain running champs. I would expect some big things from her. So she's one. Definitely want to give a shout out to Sydney Peterson as well. Newly crowned Brooks athlete, has had some top finishes both at Mammoth and Broken Arrow. She's one to look out for. Who else do we have in here? I think Haley Heinrich, who lives on Sunapee Mountain. She's a local East Coaster. So we'd expect some things from her as well.
Not on this list, but Courtney Coppinger has also had two top 10s already at Golden Trail, and she is racing here. So I think she'll be somebody to watch out for as well.
Definitely.
I mean, we could talk about all these women for sure. We've got like
we could do a whole episode on this.
Yeah.
Just on this is a crazy list.
Yeah. I mean, we still have 12 minutes and we still have the men to preview. Any ideas or speculation or guesses on like how this women's race is going to develop potentially?
I actually have a question for you guys and see what you think. So we've got kind of this old guard. I wouldn't say old, but like we have so much so much experience, right? Between Rachel, Allie, even Lauren Gregory. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how, and then you have like kind of the middle guard where Anna Gibson hasn't yet made a team, but she has a lot of experience, right? And then you have these new up and coming athletes, especially from these trail team elite ladies like Sophie Wright, maybe Emily Clark and some others. It's just going to be interesting to see kind of the dynamics play out in this race with so much experience and then not so much experience from some of the other ladies. So will we see someone make their name essentially in this race, or will it be kind of play out as before where we have the old guard just kind of take control and win this race? So it's going to be very interesting to see kind of how this plays out.
Yeah, my guess is that there will probably be a pack of like 4 to 6 women who go out pretty hard. And then I think there will be a second pack that ends up competing for that 4th spot for sure. Maybe even the 3rd, depending on how hard those women go in that first lap. But that's just my guess in terms of dynamics on the women's side.
Yeah, I mean, Grayson's 108 is a pretty superb and spectacular 108. I'm guessing the winner's going to be just a couple minutes off of that. I'd love to see someone break the course record, but that is a pretty outstanding Grayson that showed up to that race. With that being said, I mean, you see, if you compare that to say like half marathon times, people die all the time in the last 10K of a half marathon if they go out too fast. So I would imagine that like if you want to make this team, you kind of like hold on to the handrails and hold on as long as you possibly can. And like we're in a time and age where like nutrition is really important, like no matter what you're racing. And if you're not eating for an hour-ish amount of time, like you will hit a wall. Even running downhill, like these women, a lot of them can run sub 6 minutes down this technical terrain. And if they're not taking like 1 or 2 gels on that first lap, that 5:30 suddenly becomes 6:45, and there goes your spot on the team. But yeah, I don't know. My speculation is we're gonna have a couple vets take it out. Like they know what it takes. So if I'm a young gun, chomping at the bit wanting that spot, I think you just jump on that train because the likes of Allie McLaughlin coming back are near to none. So you just got to go and take your shot.
We all know how Allie races. Super aggressive. I mean, Allie's one of my picks, obviously. I actually got to witness an Allie Mack workout at the gym the other day, watch her absolutely destroy a Stairmaster. And I was astonished how fit Allie is. So yeah, we all know she races really aggressive. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of just how the dynamics play out. Because, you know, I almost think of this almost like, obviously, Broken Arrow is a significantly longer race, like a 46K. But generally, the person leading the first lap on the 46K isn't necessarily the person winning the race. Obviously, epic blowups occur. This is obviously much faster, much shorter. But I'm just curious to see like kind of how those dynamics play out with this 2-looped course and kind of, you know, if you don't assert yourself in the race necessarily from the beginning, then the race might get away from you. So,
yeah. And we do have some beta here from Steve Yosifer. I hope I pronounced that right, Steve. And he says, course is longer this year and even muddier, guessing at least 20 minutes slower than 2023. So
yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Paul wanted us to note that it is a longer race this year.
Yeah, so probably closer to that 130 range.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are out there or if you have an athlete out there that's never tried Never Second, they are a partner of the race this year. So be sure to grab their products. They're great for races like this. Personally, I'd be slamming those caffeine gels all morning because personally, this is a very early race. So yeah, be sure to check out Never Second. They are out on the course today. Yeah, I will say one more thing about the I love this, the Quebec folks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry Yeah, shout out. I hope I'm saying that right, but they'll be right at home on the mud. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I think anyone who's had exposure, I mean, Anna Gibson just ran in the mud for like almost 5 hours too. So this is probably going to feel so much easier compared to that.
We
With
should
the women,
probably switch to the men.
oh,
Sorry, Danny, because
oh no,
it's
yeah, oh yeah.
5:53 and we got to
Yeah, we
start
gotta
the race in
Let's do
7
that.
minutes.
Sorry, time
James,
flies.
do you want to
Yeah.
start us off there?
Yeah, super excited for this men's race as well. One of the, I wouldn't say a late entry, but someone that was kind of on the bubble, wasn't sure if he was going to make it out, was going to be Christian Allen. So we're super excited to have him in this race. He's a 2023 Mountain Classic US champion, national champ, if you will, having taken the first place position last year at Cirque Series Snowbird. So very exciting to have Christian, one of the most talented athletes in this group. Some other notable names that I'm excited for, kind of new and up and coming athlete, Hawk Call. Last year, I watched him personally beat up on everybody on the course in Cirque Series Grand Targhee and take the win. Really fun athlete to watch, and he'll be racing, I think, a lot of the Golden Trail Series this year. Another athlete from 2023, Sunapee, who had a great showing, was Casey Campbell, someone to definitely watch out for. On top of that, I love that we have Mason Copey stacked right on top of Daniel Kurtz. This is a really good conversation, something maybe we can get into later in the race, but there's just this beautiful dynamic between these two where La Sportiva in Boulder had put on this it was a Sanitas Challenge. And this Sanitas Challenge was a 2.5 mile-ish race, if you will, up and down Sanitas in Boulder. Mason actually got the better of Dan, which was very interesting, even though Dan had been spending a small amount of time up in Boulder. So obviously there's a little bit of a rivalry going into this race between these two. Dan Kurtz, if you will, obviously one of the best downhillers on the planet. And he is the 2023 mountain riding champion. On top of that, some other notable names. We've got Talon Hall, Brooks athlete's going to be returning. Scott Clingon Smith, finally got his last name right. Big shout out to him from Orem, Utah. He's a young gun, 20 years old, going to be participating in the stacked field. He's had some great finishes at, for instance, the U.S. Mountain Riding Champs last year. Big shout out to Remy LaRue as well. He's someone to keep an eye out on. Remy LaRue, Brooks athlete, just took podiums, just at the podium, the Big Alta 50K, if you will, a couple months back in a very stacked field. He's from Quebec, has had a lot of success in races like this, so he's someone to look out for. Tyler McCandless as well. Tyler, very consistent, usually on the podium of most of the races that he's finished in. Has the course record, or just took the course record last year at the Rendezvous Hill Climb, going under an hour. Tyler, ready for this race. Who else do we have in here? Liam Myro has made the team before, someone to look out for. Cam Smith, potentially future Olympian, has made the team back in Chiang Mai in 2022. Kind of interesting to see where he's at, especially after a long ski season and had a nice 6-week build. Taylor Stack is someone to look out for as well. And last but not least, definitely Andy Wacker, one of the greatest to ever do it, first ballot Hall of Famer. It's going to be exciting to see Andy Wacker potentially make his 18th team. So I'd say that's a good rundown for the men.
Yeah. Taylor Stack is somebody I'm super excited about. We talked about him a bit in our preview. He was 4th at Broken Arrow last year in the 23K. And as we know, that race was stacked. You got Patrick Kipnieno, Philemon Kiriago, Eli Hemming, all those guys. And this kid shows up in his pirate shorts and gets 4th place. So I'm stoked to see him here at this race, which is a little bit shorter, but now that we know that it's a little bit of a longer course, it's not that much shorter in terms of time than Broken Arrow. So
Taylor is supremely talented and very young in the sport. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what he's able to do today. Definitely someone that will compete for that spot.
Yeah, this is really exciting. I love that we have this plethora of, like you said, like the young guard, and you have like the veterans as well. Brooks also just like showing up. This is the first time I've seen like a team have such a presence, both on the women's side, but especially the men's side. I didn't know that Remy got swooped up by them. So that's an incredible add to their team there. So we're probably going to see a lot of Brooks jerseys up in the front.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say one person missing from this list, or at least I don't see him, is David Norris. David Norris is the Mount Marathon. Mount Marathon course record holder, champion. arguably one of the best like mountain classic like athletes there is, and just kind of slept on a little bit. I don't know why, but yeah, he's someone that could potentially vie for a spot as well. So that's definitely someone to talk about.
Yeah, anyone who could win Mount Marathon, he's just gonna laugh at this downhill and be like, "This is a street. What are you talking about?" Well, sorry, folks, for taking so much time about women's race speculation, but we do have to show you this great video before. Wow, you guys, thank you so much, Sunapee Scramble. Looks like the race is about to start. The men are getting ready. Look at those leg shakes. Nothing like a good pre-race leg shake.
That's right.
I'm just stoked that it's not raining so that we can actually see their bib numbers maybe this time.
All right, here it is. You're going to do a 10-second countdown. And I will be at the end. It'll be go. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go! 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 Have a good one today. Have a great time. We'll see you.
Awesome. And with that, we start the race. It's awesome.
I love this comment from Josh H saying that Travis is running. Hopefully he forgets to do his fantasy. I believe we're talking about Travis Longcar here, who always wins free trail fantasy. We hope he forgot too, because I feel pretty confident in my picks this time around.
Wow, that went out so fast. I mean, we all figured it was going to go out stupid fast, but wow.
What? Yeah, they just shot out like a rocket.
Yeah.
That is some grassy grass, you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're on.
So if you weren't here at the start of the live stream, just so you know, there will be cameras following the entire men's field, or the front of the men's field, and the women's field for the entire first lap. So big shout out to Sunapee, getting those cams on there.
Yep. And then the second lap is there will be some of the same, but there is part of the course that we will just be relying on a camera from one of the stations out there. Because it's a little bit more remote, but we're hoping to get some bib numbers and times at the top so that we can give you guys some updates there.
Yeah. And for those also tuning in, the women's race is going to start in about 14 minutes as well. So.
All right. Hopefully we get that follow cam here pretty soon.
I think that's them probably.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that Starlink on the back. That's awesome.
Super cool.
Hope you're in
hello.
your low gears.
Oh, we got a station fireball in the chat. Here we go.
Hope that thing's gassed up and ready to go. These guys are fast.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, great view of the top of the.
Getting ready. All right. So far in the chat, we've got the women's race hasn't started yet, but Dani said this earlier. We got lots of Ali Ostrander fans. We've got Dani and EmKay and James fans, obviously.
Liam, we have a Liam T-Stack is in there, as we mentioned. Masters runner Tim Van Orden. Thanks for the shout out, Steve. Yeah, our Masters runners are also taking to the course today.
Sophie Wright, shout out.
Sophie Wright, shout out.
Yeah, this is the one. I don't think we talked about this, but this is the one U.S. selection race that is also a U.S. championship out of the 4 races. So we have a lot of Masters runners out there who could be a Masters U.S. champion. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean, and shout out to Max King, who potentially could be a overall and Masters champion.
Do we know if he's actually racing?
He's not.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I was going to say, it seems
I know, it
way
would've
too
been-
soon.
Yeah, poor guy. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him out here again.
Hopefully by Broken Arrow.
Yeah, he gives me so much like you know, he's like in his 40s and he's just had so much consistency over the years that I think any person that's maybe in their, you know, 30s that thinks that like the sport might be ending for them at some point in time, like look at Max King. You know, he's had so much, he's just very durable and has a lot of longevity in the sport. So
And and he's somebody who has moved up to long stuff, but like also still crushes all the short stuff too. He's not just running 100 miles every weekend.
Yeah,
which
I
we
see
love.
Wendy Pancake in the chat. I believe she's probably shouting out for Devin Pancake. Yeah, best last name in sport. Shout out Devin Pancake. He's a what is it? Trail Team Elite selection for 2025 as well, and he is in this race right now. So, and here come our lead men. Looks like Christian's in the lead right now.
Yeah, I would. That mullet does not escape us.
Hard to miss that mullet. All right, looks like our camera's on the run. Here we go.
And just so you guys know, we will have a split screen once the women's race starts. So we will get coverage of both. And this feed started about a half mile into the climb.
So it's very interesting, the dynamic here with Christian taking it out. Christian is notorious for taking it out very fast in a lot of these races. Obviously, he was on the bubble a little bit with a race like this, just because he's coming back from a stress reaction. He wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not. In fact, like he kind of released the information that he was going to come. I talked to him a little bit before, and it looked like it was a possible no, which is why we didn't actually include him in our race preview, because it seemed like it wasn't going to happen. So very exciting to have him in this race, and I'm just curious to see how that dynamic plays out, because he is such a good climber, and where if his durability will be able to hold up throughout the race.
Yes, and just a note, it is very, very windy outside there today. So the boots on the ground, doing the best they can.
Look how overgrown this course is. It's crazy.
Yeah, lots of rain.
Yeah,
Here
I mean,
all right.
As we know
like
from 2 years ago, this course is pretty remote.
There's Mason, Christian.
There's a third person there.
Is that
Andy?
That's Andy. Racker. Yeah,
notorious. Andy does take it out very fast, so it makes sense.
And Andy is faster than ever right now, you guys. The stuff he's been throwing down on the roads lately is insane. So seeing him up front with Christian and Cade, because I know he and Cade trained together quite a bit on the road section, is not surprising to me at all.
Yeah. This is a very interesting dynamic, like this chase pack. I know Tyler, so I'd spoken to Tyler a little bit before the race, and one of the things that he had said specifically was, this is not the world championship. I'm going to race this for a spot, not necessarily racing it to win. So a lot of different strategies going into this race, especially with the 2-loop course, and who's going to maybe hold back a little bit, see who's going to blow up on the first lap. So it's no surprise though to see Christian, Andy, and Mason in the front. So
I am a little surprised to see Cam Smith going out so hot with them, but I love to see it.
One of the best climbers in the field too. And it was interesting with Cam. He wasn't in our conversation. He was very candid with not being entirely sure where he was at, especially after, such a long racing season on the Skimo side. He said he had a great 6-week build in, coming back to Crested Butte. Took him a little bit of time to get used to the altitude, but he said he was feeling like he was in a good place. So.
Yeah, and Dani and I talked about this a little bit with David Sinclair as well, that it seems like maybe they wouldn't be ready coming off of this Skimo season, but the way that Skimo works right now, it's like such short sprints that like they're probably pretty ready to go for these shorter races.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting. I know we had David Sinclair on the start list and he wasn't a scratch, but according to some information, I don't actually think he's there today. I'm not entirely sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll find out, I guess, at the top. But
So,
Okay, where'd our men's camera go? Oh, we're still on the women's ATV. So this is not the women's race, obviously. This is a just a lot of the other men in the race. I'm imagining the women's ATV is just hanging out here until the women get there.
And just for people listening, like the level of fitness at the front of this race, like you're talking obviously sub 30-minute 10K times for these men and sub 14-minute 5K times for these men. Like Andy, I think, is probably the person I'll point to, is just in just ridiculous shape right now for his age, which is crazy.
Yeah, and then let's not forget to add on to that, Christian Allen was the top American this year at the Houston Marathon, which is pretty absurd, before he dealt with his injury, where he ran a wicked fast marathon time as well.
Yeah.
So we have 370 athletes running the Sunapee Scramble today, and we have ages 14 to 77. So lots of age group winners today. I love that. 14.
Yeah. 77. That's
yeah,
some longevity.
77 is more impressive than 14. I'm sorry, you guys.
If I could make it out there at 77, I'll be really happy.
Yeah, if I could walk down my stairs, I'd be happy.
And we will have a split at the summit for the men. And just a reminder, you guys, like this, the Sunapee Resort is pretty remote. There's not very good service out there. We do have Starlink on that front camera, but it still is kind of cutting out. So just be patient with us. We are doing our best out here to get you guys information. Just a reminder that the top of the first climb is 2.3 miles in. So hopefully we will be getting splits fairly soon because those guys looked like they were moving.
Yeah, so it looks like the fastest split on a majority of the climb looks to be roughly just under 15 minutes. So I'm going to guess we're going to see them probably around just under 20 minutes, even including the first part.
Yeah. Are you looking at this upper access road?
Yes, exactly. We love our Strava
Nice.
segments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
love that.
killer. 1.28 miles with 1,000 feet, just straight up the ski slopes.
Yep. And the point that we saw them at was kind of a more flat portion of that first climb. They took off. They had like a 24% grade up the ski slope. And then we saw them on that bit of road, which was flat. And then they head into the main segment climb, the upper access road segment here on Strava, which is more like a 10 to 20% grade all the way to the top. So for 1.3 miles, like Dani said. And I don't actually know how technical that part of the course is, to be honest.
That first downhill?
The first uphill.
Oh, the first uphill. I think it's not as technical. I think the second
As the downhill, yeah.
Yeah. Look at these men just absolutely smashing it. Yeah, these folks are coming off of a 25% grade at this women's ATV camp, and them running into the next climb is pretty spectacular. Good morning, Eric LaPuma. From Toronto.
Yeah, the first climb up to the top is all cat track service road on the final steep climb.
Yeah.
Live from Toronto, Eric LaPuma. Kind
So
of a
if you-
local.
If you guys missed it, we did have a brief glimpse of the front of the men's race where Christian Allen, Andy Wacker, and Cade Michael were all leading in a front pack of three. And I believe it was Cam Smith, Dan Kurtz, and who were the other folks in that chase
Tyler
pack?
McCandless, I think,
Yeah,
was
Tyler
up
was
in
there.
there.
Yep.
But then there was a whole horde of men that I couldn't really see after that.
So that was, just want to give a correction. That was actually Mason Copey, not
Oh,
Cade Michael.
Thank
Close.
you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that was the swap.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, David Roche. Shout out to David Roche in the chat.
Thanks, David. We're trying our best. Run like the wind, Scott Klingensmith. I hope I
Yep.
said that right, Quindon.
Klingon. Think it like
Oh.
like the Klingon aliens.
Oh, one of the youngest leagues, 20 years old. Nice. And then we got, oh man,
Oh, our women start in 3 minutes already.
Right.
This is
Tzatzkik brothers
crazy.
in the collegiate race. I hope I'm saying that right, Tyler, but thanks for the shout out there. And
Okay,
thanks for
I'm trying. Oh, sorry, Danny. I'm trying to look it up because I keep getting his time wrong, but here it is. Mason Copey, who was in that front pack, he ran 2:16 at CIM recently. So incredibly fast. He ran 104 at Houston this year.
Trail runners are fast.
Yeah, Mason's really, I feel like I know Mason pretty well. Like he's really achieved like a new level this year. So it's very interesting to see like where his confidence is going into this race. He's a big Mason fan.
Do you know if he's rocking the Adidas ASUs today?
You know what? I thought he was wearing Brooks shoes. I think he said going. I asked him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe he is wearing the Adidas.
I always see him in his Instagram with those on, so I was curious. All right, women's race lining up. Man, look at all those Brooks kits. Brooks has done such a spectacular job of grabbing this sub-ultra talent. So shout out to the Brooks team manager.
I know it's starting to look like the European team over here because the European team is super young and like a bunch of sub-ultra athletes. And they're doing the same thing over here in the US, and I love it.
Yeah, big investment. It's good to see them doing it. And I think if you were to sit down and like crunch the numbers, they might have one of the biggest, if not the biggest, sub-ultra team now, like on the planet, which is great across Europe and North America.
Yeah. Something I do want to note. Oh, the women's race is just about to start, but I know you guys saw how windy that is. This looks to be the men's race. I don't know if that's the front of the pack though, or if the chase pack.
Hard to tell, but I do think those like blue-ish kits are Brooks athletes.
If we could switch to the women's start too. They're just about to go off. There we go. Thank you.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so look at those flags, y'all. It is pumping out there. Personally, I would probably tuck in to save some energy on that uphill. But it is a short race, so you might just have to send it.
Whoa, hold up.
Whoa.
All right, good.
Got Rachel, Anna.
See Allie on the far.
Allie on the far.
Allie on the far. Courtney.
Sydney. Lauren's right behind them.
Okay, go. Anytime, go.
Is that a Nike kit? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Lauren, I think, is in the Nike kit behind Sydney and Anna. I see Laurel Moyer up there on that front line. Trying to tell who else is up there.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Wow.
All right.
Also, Outlet
Women's
Rocket.
Oh, fast.
Have a great time out there.
Look at that great field. We love
And
that.
welcome to 2020.
Wow, it is whipping out there. Thanks for showing the start of that women's race.
Do we have a men's cam working again that we could?
All
Here
right.
we are. Looks like we're back.
I think that was Liam in that Nike kit on back there. It's hard to say. I don't know.
Who's the guy in the red kit?
I don't know. This one's
The bib. We needed the bib.
Yeah.
we need the bib.
Show
Look
us
how,
the bib.
and to Danny's point, look how windy that course is. It's blowing up there.
Yeah. They might be
All right,
a little bit protected, but it also might be a window.
that's
I
Andy
think it was
Wacker.
Andy. Yeah.
Oh, Remy is in red. Is from Granite State Trail Runners.
Is that Taylor? Or maybe it's
We
Dan.
got Brooks. We got a whole horde of Brooks. So that's probably Dan Taylor and Remy LaRue, if I had to guess.
Someone says Remy's in red today. So maybe Remy wore a red Brooks kit. I don't know.
We have a
Oh, what?
Where's Christian?
Christian.
Oh, Christian. Classic.
Oh, he looks
I
so
wouldn't
sweet
expect
right
anything
now.
else.
He looks very composed. Yeah.
Oh, it
Um,
keeps going.
So that's Mason Copey
exciting.
and
Mason,
Cam
Cam.
Smith,
Tyler
McCandless.
Is
Wow,
Wow.
so this changed
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, I don't think that Remy is in the red. I believe he is in a Brooks kit.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, unless it was like the red kit from last year, I don't think he would wear that. But Oh, here we go. Remy and Blue Brooks kit. Thank you for confirming.
Yeah. Okay, so this shook up quite a bit. Christian Allen falling into the chase back a bit. Cam Smith leading this charge.
Yeah.
Not surprising. He has won, the Broken Arrow VK, the Rut VK. Like James mentioned earlier, he is a potential pick for the Olympic team, in skimo, which is quick, fast bursts uphill.
And Tyler McCandless, we can't forget that he has a 2:12.28 in the marathon and a 1:02 half marathon. So that guy has wheels.
Yeah. Just ran in 1:05 a couple weeks ago at altitude. So he's
just a little tune up.
Yeah. No big deal, right? It's crazy.
You can tell that this is steep.
Yeah.
Just based on how forward these guys are leaning.
Yeah. You see Mason and them kind of drafting off Cam. Cam is just so widely respected by his peers. It's just one of the best climbers there is. And no doubt to see him in first. I mean, it's, crazy to see. I think the strategy with Cam going in was where obviously he was competent on the climbs. It's where are you going to be on the downhill? So being able to maintain and just hold on to a lead or hold on to where you're at on the descent and then, try to maximize your potential on the uphill. So it's going to be interesting.
Yes, and I would think too, I have read a couple of Tyler McCandless's Strava reports post races, and I think he does sometimes get passed on technical descent. So I think he is playing to his strengths right now by being in this front pack.
Yeah. Tyler's his race IQ is crazy. Tyler's very cerebral. And, and I think that's something he really worked on. Him and Taylor Stack had an opportunity to train together a lot on the Front Range of Colorado this year. And I think that was something that Tyler had really worked on, was trying to improve on the technical design.
Got a show. Yeah, just a reminder, it did rain. It is slippery out there.
Yeah, and it is it's 9:19 in the morning and the men have gotten to the top of the first climb, it seems. So 19 minutes for that first climb, which was 2.3 miles-ish.
Hey, I said right around 20 minutes.
Mason Kobe taking it on this downhill.
Yeah.
Let's go, Mason. So this is currently our top 4. And just a reminder, the top 4 make the team.
And back to the...
It just goes to show you just the level of just nastiness on this with Christian falling over.
He fell again.
Just fell again.
There we go. Yeah, this is a really crazy course. What is he wearing those shoes wise? Are we able to tell? Because I know he's been notorious to wear, I would doubt he would be wearing
a road shoe. Yeah, I hope not on a day like today.
Yeah, it is one of those days though where your shoe choice is really, really important. There's not seconds to spare. And him falling twice so far.
Nice work.
I think last year, I forget when he represented Team USA, he was wearing granted it was a VK, but he was wearing Alpha Flies. So.
All right, we got women's ATV. I'm wondering if the women are coming up soon. Oh,
woo!
Oh, here we go.
Here we go, guys.
Oh,
okay. We've got.
Was that Dan?
I think Kurt's catching Christian. That's Remy Lareau.
All right, I imagine Dan is going to make a hefty move on this downhill.
Big time.
Yeah.
Andy Wacker.
One of the best downhillers there is, Dan Kurtz, and this is his essentially his backyard on these technical, rooty, nasty trails.
We just got 2 more. Yeah, couldn't agree more, James.
Dan absolutely smashed these downhills a couple years ago. So,
and one thing he did say going into this race, he was like, "I want it muddy. I want it disgusting." I don't know who that was.
There's red jersey again.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows who the rest
maybe Casey Campbell? I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, this is the type of downhill that, with it being wet and just a little soft, if you are incredibly efficient, then you actually will gain so many minutes on the downhill just by kind of hopping down. Is this the women's race?
It looks like Allie Mack. Race, but I was going to guess Allie Mack for sure.
I saw a little brief stint of orange.
Mack out front.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
So no surprise there. I think we all called that Allie would be taking this out hot.
And she has a gap on those women so far, it looks like.
This is really fun to see. Allie is someone you don't want to have too big of a gap because she will never come back.
Yep.
So if suddenly she gaps this, you only have 2 spots left on the team.
I'm just guessing based on color that's maybe Lauren Gregory behind. It looks kind of like a whitish jersey.
You're totally right. Yeah. Holy cow,
man.
she's
She's hammering it.
flying.
I told you guys, I witnessed an Ali Mack workout last week and I was astonished. I think this might be 2020, I'd say 2023 Ali Mack.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
All right, Christian Allen has gotten passed by a couple of guys now on this downhill. Is
There's
that
Remy. Yeah, that's
Tyler?
Tyler McCandless. So Tyler's also getting passed by several people. Oh,
I think
Go.
the descents just make it, it's either you have it or you don't on some
Wow,
of this
look
descending
how
because it's
slippery.
it's so
Going
slick.
uphill.
Now I know Tyler was wearing the Norda 005 shoe, so I think a lot of it came down maybe to lug aggressiveness as well on some of the shoe choices.
Yeah, I feel like you should just wear soccer cleats at that point.
some cross country spikes.
Yeah.
I like this comment from Elon saying that Remy considers himself a much stronger uphiller than downhiller. So he's been working on his descending for a while now. And if any of you guys follow Remy, he is a frequent in the uphill races for WMRA, and he's very good at them. So we love to hear you working on your downhill skills. It seems to be working because it looked to us like he passed a lot of other men on that course.
Ooh, so Connor Deal, big shout out. He said Christian got passed by David Norris, who's in the yellow on kit. And he was someone we were talking about a little bit earlier, was just making moves. And David Norris, like I said, Mount Marathon champion, course record holder, dirty, absolutely dirty on descent. So,
a course record that he took from Killian, right?
Right. Well, first it was Killian, and then he took the other one back. It might have been Max, or maybe he broke his own last year. I can't remember, but he's a very, very strong descender.
So we're still getting some decent women's coverage here, but just a reminder that we did lose the men, so we might lose the women as well for a bit. What were you saying, James? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to speak more to David Norris's stability level, like last year I watched, I was in the race at Cirque Series Brighton and just watching initially him and Patrick and Philemon kind of duke it out, and he got the better of Philemon and almost at one point in time caught Patrick on some technical terrain. So David is just a really good technical athlete, very, very strong on technical terrain.
Yeah, if you're a mountain marathon champion, I could only imagine.
This is the perfect course today.
Yeah. All right, so we see Tyler kind of in the chase there. We got to figure out who's in that red jersey.
Yeah, so chat, please.
Somebody said something.
We got the yellow one.
Is it Zach Erickson? ?
It very well could be.
McCurdy.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was someone kind of a sleeper. He was like third place last year at the U.S. Mountain Running Champs, but didn't have a lot of other results. So wouldn't be surprised to see him up there mixing it up.
Am I spelling his name wrong? Yeah, Zachary Erickson.
Yeah, I just
also
looked him
third
up
place
on
at Targhee
Instagram.
Cirque Series last year, 14:10 5K PR.
Yeah, he's really, really talented.
We do not know currently who is leading, you guys, but we will get you that information as soon as we can.
Thank you, Lindsay McDonald. Appreciate your kind words. David Roche saying that David, I guess this is in response to David Norris, has been doing a lot of track work too after a great ski season. So big time leveling up.
My coach, Rick Floyd, in the chat. Dan rolling the downhill. I saw at least 3 guys faceplant in the glades. It's like a swamp up here. I'm assuming he's out on course as he's out in Vermont this week visiting some friends.
Yes, there will be a results page eventually, Sundance.
So
and we've gotten a couple of Brian Atkinsons as well. So shout out to Brian.
Mason, Tyler, Dan after the glades. Yeah, I think Rick is right in there. Yep.
So that's Mason Copey, Tyler McCandless, and Dan Kurtz.
Yeah, it's crazy how many spots Dan made up after getting on that descent.
I believe that the results will be on the Sunapee Scramble page, but I will double check that for you guys.
Also, Tyler being in that front group, that is incredible. He's really moving on that downhill.
Oh, thank you, Cade. So Cade kind of gave some more commentary to what I was talking about with Dan versus Mason on the Sanitas segment. The La Sportiva put up the Sanitas segment in Boulder. It was a big challenge for a cash prize. Cade kind of gave some more commentary to that. So thank you, Cade. We miss you
is
today,
that
Cade.
Cade?
That's Cade Michael. Yeah.
Okay, so he's not racing, guys.
No,
That's
Cade is not
sad.
in the race today. Yeah.
Oh, we miss you out there, Kate.
We will be seeing him a broken arrow, though. So it's not,
Nice.
yeah.
It looks like, oh, here we go. Front of the men. Dan Kurtz.
That's Dan Kurtz.
And then
Mason
Mason.
Copey.
Here we go. Is that Andy?
Andy Wacker.
And Remy LaRoe, I think that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Here comes Cam.
Cam. Wow, they are all bunched up.
All right, so this is where the race is going to get made. We're going into lap 2 now.
That's top 5. So Dan Kurtz currently leading. He won 2 years ago.
That was not Remy. Huh.
Oh.
Maybe that was Taylor?
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been Taylor Stack.
Yeah.
And then Cam Smith, Mason Copy.
All right.
Wow.
Who's
all right.
yellow? I think is David Norris, and that's who's coming up.
Yep.
All right.
Nice. Well, this is kind of interesting that David is in that chase because the second lap is more technical.
Yeah.
That was Remy.
That's
That
Remy.
was Remy LaRue. Yeah.
So that was our top 7 there.
Who was in second?
It was Mason Copey.
Yeah, Mason
He was
Copey.
right there with Dan.
And then Andy, yeah.
And then I think it's Taylor.
There's Christian in 9th, and that was our red shirt, who is Brian Atkinson. We are pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Another Brooks athlete.
That might have been Talon Hall. It's hard to say.
Okay. Let's see.
Yep, that was Talon. All right, thanks.
Paul, do we have live splits somewhere? I think we just have a live stream.
Here comes Tyler. So maybe 30 seconds back, 40 seconds back, something like that.
Yep. So
Paul said he is waiting
like
to get
Liam
some live
Miro.
splits, you guys.
That looked like Liam Miro that just came through.
Yep.
Oh, red shirt is Zach Erickson.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Rebecca
men,
Erickson.
Dan Kurtz, Mason Copey, Cam Smith, Andy Wacker, David Norris, Taylor Stack, we're pretty sure.
Yeah, that front pack. Look how windy it is. Holy cow.
Do we have
strapped down?
An update on the women at this point in terms of cameras?
Yes. So this is the end of the first loop that we are seeing. So the men are roughly just a little over 4 miles through, and they have about 5 miles to go. So the second lap will be slightly longer and more technical. And we do not have a follow cam of the men on the second lap.
Okay.
Looks like we're still waiting for...
Brian Atkinson is in the neon yellow. Thank you, chat. This is very helpful for us.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
You're crushing it. Thanks for
Okay,
tuning
now I'm
in.
confused. So is David Norris in the red?
No, David Norris was in it was like almost like a white and yellow on kit that they have now for this year.
It's like a light yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Zach Erickson is in the red.
All right, so Dan Mason, Andy.
And that is from Rebecca Erickson, thank you, who looks to be related or in some relation.
Okay, yeah, red shirt is Zach Erickson.
So yeah, hopefully we can get some more coverage on the women. I'd like to see kind of where things are shaking up there.
Allie Mack is still leading the women, says our women's ATV crew.
Okay.
Lauren Johnson second? Is that supposed to be?
That might have been Lauren Gray. I would
Lauren
guess
Gregory.
Lauren Gregory. Yeah.
About 20 meters back.
Sundance top 3 women go to Spain because of Grayson's spot is an auto spot, and then the top 4 men in this race will go to Spain.
All right, we got another men's camera up here.
Looks like the sun might be coming out a little bit.
I'm sure that's nice and humid.
Wow, it is really, really windy there. So I'm guessing on the women's side, similar to the men, we are probably going to pick them back up towards the top. Oh, here we go. Looks like Allie is still leading.
Yep.
And it looks like she's going to be catching some of the men on this first loop. I hope they're giving her big cheers as she runs by.
Yep.
Is there a way to adjust the camera for those on the ATV? Thank you
Perfect.
so much. We appreciate you.
Maybe if they could slow down just a little bit so we can catch Allie and see kind of.
Right now, all we know is that Allie McLaughlin is leading the race, but we haven't had a chance to see the chase pack of the women's race. And yes, anyone can enter Sunapee Scramble. So there are folks who are trying to make the team. There are folks trying to win their age groups for USATF championships. And then there's folks that want to enjoy the course and the East Coast trails. This looks like the lead men.
Yeah, Mason and Dan.
Mason and Dan.
There we go. That we called that
Incredible.
Yeah. So, and just to add some commentary to that, like, yeah, Dan was pretty candid on Strava about not winning that La Sportiva Sanitas Challenge. And, you know, I think it really lit a fire. He was very candid about, you know, talking about that. And Mason had a ton of confidence going into this race. So it's cool to see these two, how this plays out. Thank you, Eric.
Have you guys already answered the question here from Drew, son of Morris?
Can anyone?
It says
yes. Yep. Danny did.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I ran to the bathroom real quick. Rick said he's in the Glades and can update the women when they come through.
Cool.
Oh, yes. Can we make that women's ATV camera a little bit bigger? Oh, looks like it went out. So after the first lap, we saw a great group of the men up in front. Dan Kurtz was leading, and they essentially were all together. It was Dan Kurtz, Mason Copy, Andy Wacker, Cam Smith, David Norris, and Remy Leroux. Remy is Canadian, so if he ends up in the top 4, he will not be part of the USA team.
All right, let's go, Allie.
Oh, there we have Allie Mack. Can we make that camera a little bit bigger, please? We are out here. There we go. Thank you so much.
Oh.
To answer Cade's question, I think so.
Did they drive out?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think so, but I don't want to. Eric, if Dan stays in the front, it's the top. It's to the top. It's game over. Yes, Dan's technical descending is insane. Let's see if we can get that camera back for to see the lead women kind of come through the women's ATV.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just a reminder, today is a USA Championship as well as a USA team selection. We will be selecting the top 4 men who are currently in the second loop of this 2-loop course. And the top 3 women will all be making Team USA, who will be competing this September in Spain. So as you can imagine, this is a huge race for all the athletes who are participating, trying to make those teams. It looks to be... This is still Allie.
Yeah.
And while pixelated, still looks smooth as butter running up this hill.
Such an efficient ascent, like such an efficient climber. It's crazy.
Yeah. Her power ratio is insane for how much power she gets up these hills.
Oh. Yeah, and for those of you who missed a little bit of our preview ahead of the race, Ali Mack is the 2022 world champion in the vertical, so obviously a very good climber. But she's also very good at descending too. She's very willing to just like throw herself down a hill.
Very complete. Yes.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. To our point, we did mention in before the race started, if Ali Mack takes it out, she's one of those runners that if she gets going, it's really hard to catch her. So I would imagine the other women, if they weren't already with her on the uphill, they might start going into, let me see if I can grab that second or third place.
I like this question from Ilan. Will Ali be base jumping from the top, or did the race organizers force her to run like everyone else?
She'll probably finish and go run up a third time and then base jump is probably our guess. Oh,
Just a
there she
celebration.
is.
There she is.
Wow. Just look how efficient. It's so crazy how talented Ali is.
All right, so
Looks
it's
awesome.
9:38 and they started at 9:15.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, on
Anna
Gibson
Gibson and Lauren Gregory.
Yeah.
All right. They closed the gap on her.
They've got a race.
They are not far behind. There we go.
4th place. Does anyone have any insight on this CL kit for us?
With great
I
hair.
think that's a Trail Team Elite kit. Hang on, let me see.
Oh, then
All
maybe
right,
that's Sophie.
This is going to be an interesting descent.
Maybe.
Somebody says Rena.
Oh,
Rena.
That's who it
the
is.
Trail Team.
Yep, that's right.
Wow,
Thank you, Kate.
Rena is having a great first loop because those are 3 of the best sub-ultra runners in the world. Big shout out to Rena. This is going to be an interesting descent. Ali throws herself down mountains, but Anna Gibson and Lauren Gregory are insane descenders, especially Lauren on these technical terrains. So this race isn't over, folks. Thanks for the updated camera, Women's ATV. When we say Ali, there's Ali Ostrander. We haven't seen her yet, or Ostrander.
This is Ali Mack up front.
This is Ali McLaughlin currently leading, who represents Hoka.
Thank you, Cade. Yeah, Rena is the women's segment champ for the La Sportiva Challenge that went down a couple weeks back, and yeah, she's very talented. It's crazy to see her doing she's doing very well here.
So as you guys can see, these trails on this second lap are not for the thing. I can't think of the phrase right now,
Faint
but
of
these
heart.
are faint of heart. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Thanks for completing my sentences, MK.
No problem.
This is very East Coast.
This very East Coast, Beast Coast. Don't sleep on the Beast Coast because these trails have made some very world-class dominant athletes.
Paul is saying that Rena Schwartz won the Loon Mountain race at age 19 in 2019. So she is no stranger to this area, these trails. Because yeah, sorry guys, I am having a hard time finding her on the bib list, and so I don't have any info on her. So thank you for that, Paul.
All right, so this is the first drop. That looks to be
That's Courtney
Coppinger.
Yep.
So we definitely missed some of the women.
There you go, Ali. Let's go.
Oh, here we go.
There's Ali Ostrander. How many contenders don't train in Boulder? That's a great question. Seems like everybody lives in Boulder these days because Lauren Gregory just moved out there, actually.
Yep.
Ali Mack actually trains a lot in Moab, but her home base
here's
is Colorado
Casey
Springs.
Edmonds, who made the team 2 years ago.
Cade.
I'm unsure who that is. Any of you see your runner who you're training? Oh, here's Rachel Tomaszek.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised to see her this far back, so hopefully everything's all right with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this Newberry Trail Cam, just so you guys know, is where the men are headed next. So
yeah, this is make or break it for this course. There's David Norris.
The men have already come through. Yeah.
David Norris.
So efficient. He's
Fourth.
fourth. Okay.
Thank you. Andy
Andy
Wacker.
Wacker 5th.
Is that
Dan
Dan?
Kurtz 6th.
Yeah.
Who is in the top 3 then? Holy cow.
Allie and Lauren are currently running together on the downhill with Anna 30 seconds back.
Okay. Yes, Lauren is an incredible. Lauren Gregory representing Nike Trail. Sorry, folks. We'll continue to use last names. So we just know a lot of these folks by first-hand names.
Whoops.
Allie McLaughlin and Lauren Gregory currently leading on the first lap with Anna Gibson in third.
Comes
Remy LaRue.
Remy LaRue.
Looks like he's got those Catamata Gilles on. It's a great shoe for a course like this.
So
Rough.
just speculating who
ladies.
might be in that top 3, Mason Copey, Cam Smith, and Tyler McCandless maybe still.
Yeah, I actually, Tyler might have fallen back. It's hard to say. It looked like Taylor had fallen back a little bit when we crossed into the second loop, but here's Tyler. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's hard. I don't know. Maybe Zach Erickson could have moved up. It's
Yeah, in the red shirt.
Oh,
yes.
Yep.
Yep.
T stack up front, according to Cade. That would make sense because Taylor would have gotten ahead.
So probably Taylor and Mason out front and Cam Smith.
It's going to be just interesting. Like what does Dan have left?
Talon Hall.
Yeah, to be able to smoke it on the descent to try and get into that 4th spot.
Yeah, the final descent is mile 7.6 to mile 9.4.
Yeah, so 2-ish miles or a little less than that.
1.57 miles according to the Strava segment. Let's see what our scrambled legs top time is. I like the name of this segment.
Shout out to Run Slut. That's a funny comment.
I got $5,000 on this race. Yeah, me too. Morgan Elliott has the current CR from our race here a couple of years ago, and his average pace is 4:43 mile.
That's so fast. Oh,
7:25 for that final descent. So once they get there, it'll go fast.
This is more of the women going in. Wow, that woman.
Was that an Aero Viper racing kit, maybe?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Whoever that was, she was smashing that downhill right now.
That could have been Haley Heinrich. It's hard to say.
So this, I'm guessing, will be in that like 10 to 15 range on the women's side, just based off of time. For those folks out there, it is really, really slippery today. We've seen multiple runners take a fall.
There's
Liam.
Mayro. Eric LaPuma says Dan can run on pure anger on the downhill. He doesn't need energy.
Makes sense.
And for those folks that have been watching the live stream, or maybe you're just joining, we are toggling back and forth between the men's and the women's race because they are currently actively both going. The men's race is on the second loop, and the women's race is going to be finishing up their first loop here soon. And what is this?
Eric LaPuma said that Joanna is out on the course, and she said that an on shirt was leading, so possibly David Norris with Taylor Stack.
That would make sense. She said on Mason Cam. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Eric. Okay,
Thank you.
That clarifies a lot.
So on is David Norris, Mount Marathon champion. Oh, and then Mason is Mason Copey, and then we have third place Cam Smith. Those three are all, I mean, that's crazy. If they hold on, that is a great team.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, hats off to Cam Smith. Like, what a competitor. Like, he really had, like, after talking to him, he really did not know where things were. Like, he was very confident, obviously, but not entirely sure yet because he hadn't raced other than schema. So to EmKay's point, a lot of these short schema races translate into a lot of fitness. So
yeah, definitely. And sometimes that's the best way to enter a race, is just like with an open mind. And it's nice when it works out and it's a great old big Christmas present. And you're like, this is awesome.
Big time.
Women's race.
Yeah, these ladies are moving really well in this sense.
Could we move to the finish line potentially as the women come to the end of the first lap? Oh, thank you, Paul. We will be switching to the finish line soon. The last time we saw the women, or that we've heard of, Allie McLaughlin currently leading up front with Lauren Gregory and Anna Gibson in third place. And I'm sorry, what was the name of the female in 4th place on the trail team?
Was it Rena? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rena.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Rick said they were 30 seconds back when he saw them 4th and 5th.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. And we're told that Rena is a Nordic skier, which makes a lot of sense.
That
because
makes
they
a
have
lot of sense.
insane aerobic
Balance.
engines.
Yeah.
Mason
Moves up from Syracuse, New York.
from
Colorado.
Syracuse to Colorado.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Mason's got
Everybody
a cool.
in Bullard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I see somebody running in quite fast. It looks to be maybe Lauren Gregory. Let's see. Might be in.
No,
men's.
these are men still.
Dang. I saw the white jersey.
Mhm. Got too excited. Wow.
It
I don't
looks like
remember. Do you
they
guys
are
remember how
prepped.
long it took the men the first loop? I want to say it was like
Well, they were what, 15 or 19 minutes to the top, something like that. So then,
Probably
like
30-ish
40-ish
minutes.
Yeah.
and we're coming up on 34 minutes in the women's race, so I'd imagine they're going to be coming through pretty soon.
Yes, and just to applaud everyone that is out there, the volunteers braving these insane conditions. I mean, look at that finish line tube. That thing is cranking. So thanks to everyone helping us to put this live stream on in these conditions. That looks to be
I think
amazing.
Paul said the women are coming through. Yeah, so these
Oh my
are our lead
gosh.
women here.
Look at that.
Oh, stop
pack.
moving, stop
Wow.
moving.
Here we go. Is that?
Allie Mack.
Yeah.
Oh, too much
Oh no.
movement.
Okay.
So that's Allie Mack.
Lauren Gregory.
No, I don't. Was that
Yeah,
Lauren?
that was,
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
that was
Lauren.
Lauren. Yeah.
So Lauren and Allie are
Close.
going
Yeah.
at it.
And have made quite a gap here.
Allie is trying to break Lauren, and Lauren is not breaking. This is oh my gosh, what a matchup.
Wow, yeah, they put a big gap on the rest of the women here.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Both of their downhill skills are just
Is there any way we could
tip of
pan
the spear.
to just the finish line so we could see these women?
Anna
That's
Gibson
Anna
in
Gibson.
third. She's looking great.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Okay.
Yep.
And then just if we could pause.
Yeah,
right
could we
there.
just pause and stop running with them? Is that
that-
Courtney Coppinger?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
yes,
Courtney
yep.
Coppinger
And then Rena. Yeah.
and Rena.
Wow, Courtney really reeled her in on the downhill. They both are looking, all of these women are looking so smooth considering they just ran up 25% grade and descended 25% grade. So just a reminder, top 3 on the women's side will make this US team.
All right, we got another woman coming through.
Ali Ostrander.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Ali. There we
This
go.
race isn't over, y'all.
So is that 5th or 6th? I've lost count. So we got Allie Mack, Lauren Gregory,
Anna Gibson.
Anna Gibson, Courtney
Courtney,
Coppinger, Rena,
Rena,
and
sixth.
Alios in 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree, Eric.
looks like another
All right, who's
woman
this?
coming through here.
Is that Emily Clark?
Y-
Yeah, hard to
yes,
say.
yes,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Emily Clark.
Emily
so
Clark,
Emily
there we
Clark
go.
in 7th. Hell yeah.
Sweet. That's your athlete, right, MK?
Yep.
Yep. Shout out to Emily Clark. And that was she was about 30 seconds back from Ali Ostrander, like 30, 40 seconds.
And Casey Edman.
In 8th.
Also crushing it. I would say
Looking
all these
stoked.
women are within just a couple of minutes of each other. This second loop is going to be interesting with it being more technical. Courtney made up a lot of ground on that downhill. I think she's going to potentially close the gap on this second loop. And Rachel Tomajic.
Yep.
Oh, she moved up quite a bit.
Yep.
In
Rachel's
Good
9th
job,
place.
Rachel.
So we're about to finish out our top 10 here on the first lap.
As you guys can see, these women are grabbing water, even though it's overcast. It's the East Coast. It's humid. And also these races require you to be hydrated and eating. I would dare to say whoever doesn't eat on this first lap is going to be feeling it on the second lap.
In the pain cave.
They
Yeah.
are running so fast, like you need to restore your
calf
energy.
cramps. Yeah. It's
All
gonna be
right,
interesting.
here's our closing out our top 10 here. This is 10th and 11th, but I cannot tell.
If anyone knows who these women
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
we would appreciate it. They are absolutely smashing it. Big smiles all around. This sport is awesome.
Okay,
That's
that's
Sydney
Sydney Peterson.
Peterson.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that Laurel Moyer next to her? I couldn't
No,
tell.
I thought
No?
Laurel was in gray.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
Flannery Davis.
Oh, we have Elisa Morin, French woman living in Quebec.
Oh,
Came
thank
That
in.
was
you.
with Sydney. Is that
Yes.
Oh,
Julian Carr? Fast women. That's all I know.
Let's go,
Go,
Julian.
Sid.
Shout out to Julian in the chat.
Yeah. All of these women are, the stoke is high, shakas all around. This sport is incredible. Yeah, y'all. The front of this women's race is so packed in. Just another testament to how deep both the men's and the women's fields are. That was Alyssa Morin in 10th place.
It's Jamie Brusa. Shout out to Jamie.
More waves, more smiles.
We do not have a live results page, you guys, so we're just doing our best with what we're getting out on the course.
That's Sam Lewis.
Yep.
The look to be.
Do we have an update on the men's race at all from the cameras?
Yeah, because we have to be, I'm sure they're probably on the descent down to the finish line now, maybe, or
Or-
still going.
Oh, here we
Maybe
go.
Close. I mean, it depends because they were saying that the race might be a bit longer this year, and Dan ran 61 minutes last year.
I'm sorry. This Connor Deal, thank you so much for sharing that. We love that. If you think Norris is impressive here, you should see him at the Mount Marathon after party.
Yeah.
I personally would love that.
That's why he gets the name the Grandmaster. That makes sense.
This looks to be women.
I think this is a win. Oh, yeah. So the men have not started the descent yet, which is not too surprising because the descent will only take them about 7.5 minutes.
Well, what's kind of interesting though is the men are going to catch some of the women because the last
Yes.
part of the descent is the same. So even though we're showing a woman, the men actually will probably be right here. So for those folks who are in the chat, the men are finishing up their second loop, and the top 4 will be making our USA team. The women are currently, the front of the pack has finished the first lap, and they're heading into their second lap.
It's so crazy how both of these races are so close. No one has any commanding lead. There's no, like, it's just
There's no set in stone.
We have no idea who's gonna pull this off. So that's gonna be, it's crazy. I see some.
Okay, this is still men's race first lap.
So I don't know. I mean, it's a maybe we're a few minutes out, maybe 5 minutes out, maybe more from seeing the front women come through here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yes.
Newberry Trail Cam, do you know if the women are coming fairly soon? You were giving us thumbs ups earlier, but I don't know if you can hear us still.
It's Run the Smokes top 4 for men, because each country gets to send 4 team members, but with us having the great Grayson Murphy having won the world championship in 2023, we will only be selecting 3 women. All of us on the live stream think that we should be able to send 4 additional women to Grayson, but those are the rules as of right now for mountain running.
Yep. If any of you guys watch track and field like I do, you'll know that we actually consider a world champion just like an additional spot in the track and field world. So if you have a world champion like Courtney Frericks back in, I actually don't remember the year, she got an automatic spot, and then they still took their normal 3 athletes from a trials situation.
Yes.
So
and
shout out to Rick, who's saying no men yet in the Glades. So we have an idea of where the men are still not through the Glades yet. So
hey guys, I'm in the Kubota following the men. We're at the bottom of the glade waiting for them.
Okay.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. So that is the camera in the top left on your screen. There. Oh, it looks like, is that Dan Kurtz?
It's either Dan Kurtz or Taylor.
Yes, and we have the dual cameras because the women should be coming on the right.
I don't think Dan had a hat on, and that looks like a hat.
Oh wait.
Oh no,
that's a woman.
that's a woman.
Those Brooks blue kits are misleading.
They do not bring alternatives. There are alternatives that will be named, but they will only be brought to the World Championship if an athlete drops out before the actual event goes on. Thank you for these great questions. And this is the only race that is a USA Championship along with a Team USA selection race. All the other selection races are not USA Championships, meaning that we will be crowning, a USATF mountain running champion today, both on the men's and women's side.
And in the past, we have actually run into people not being able to race. And Dani and I have talked about this on the pod, how David Sinclair was he on the classic team and ran the short trail because somebody dropped out, or was it the other way around?
No, I believe that was the case. And he ended up seeing top 10 in both races, having just coming off the bench the day before, which is crazy.
Such a versatile athlete. Shout out David Sinclair. He's missed today.
Yeah, he is missed. We did preview him, and he was listed, but he's not here today, along with Cade Michael, who is currently active in the chat.
Yeah, thanks, Cade.
Thanks, Cade. So again, the reason for the split screen, we currently are waiting for the top men to come back through the glades, but we are simultaneously waiting for the women to come through the Newbury Trail. Oh, there's a screen, the men's green. Can we make that screen bigger?
Mason? Oh.
Maybe. Or is that
are these top men?
I don't think that's one of the. I don't. Think
okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That person was just flying. We got a little.
We're
flustered there.
They were moving. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. Paul's telling us they'll go through the glades before they get to that grassy screen.
Perfect. And this race was used as the selection race 2 years ago in 2023 for the Innsbruck Championship in June of 2023. And this course is longer this year. So we are expecting that the race times potentially for the men will be closer to an hour and a half, roughly, maybe in that 120 if they are really crushing it. And the women's side as well will probably be closer to that 130 to 140 range.
All right. So they're panning, like I said, women's ATV. We should see the women come up the Newbury Trail soon, like within the next few minutes. My guess is
this question from Run the Smokies is a good Paul Kirsch question. They used to do local team competition. Will the USATF be going? Will the USATF be doing that in the future again? Paul, do we know if we're doing local team competition?
I do know I'm pretty sure this is part of their New England circuit that 603 Endurance puts on, which is the race organization.
Paul said there is team scoring included in the championships this year.
Nice. That is such a fun element. I wish other trail races would actually do that, where you could sign up with your friends and compete against other folks.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This woman's absolutely smashing it. Yes, just a reminder, there are the folks up front, but these fields are filled up to ages 77. There's folks out here who are 77 years old going down 25% grade. So shout out to everyone taking it on. Yeah.
Was that a top woman on Newbury Trail? I think it was.
It said
no.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I know, I got excited too. I was like, wait.
Just
some
a
of these
shout
people
out
are
from
just so fast.
Kenneth Fields says Kenton Fields representing Wingate just spotted on the Newbury Trail cam.
Nice. Somebody asked us earlier how many athletes are racing today, and there are 370 athletes out on the course today. And like Dani just said, ages 14 to 77.
Trail.
Woo! The stoke is high. Trail running is awesome. Nothing to wake you up in the morning than potentially sliding on your butt down a mountain. Crushing it.
I'm glad that the Newbury Trail Cam can hear us. I love the hand motions. Appreciate that.
Yes. My inner self is wishing I had a cowbell. I know that would be very annoying for folks on the live stream. Ale, ale, ale. Let's go.
I need all these people to have like air tags in their pockets, and I can watch, like the little Tamagotchis go around on Find My Friends or something.
You put up a map and see where everybody's at.
Yeah. I'm just
Was that the
waiting.
lead
Oh,
man?
that was a lead
Yes.
man. That was
That
David
looked like
Norris.
David Norris.
Yeah.
All right. Looks
Okay.
like David Norris is still leading. He was flying. Oh, Mason Copy.
Copy.
Yeah.
Copy.
Let's go, Mason.
Wow.
All right. Here we
They
go.
look like they're actually moving faster on this second lap, which I mean, if you're finishing the race, might as well just send it.
Road
Cam
or trail,
Smith.
which is better? Oh, Cam Smith in third.
Oh, looking
go.
so smooth.
Eric LaPuma says he may have seen a Brooks kit in front of Norris.
Okay.
So that could be
we missed
Taylor
it.
or Dan.
Way to go,
Yeah.
Emer.
So much fun.
As
Do
you
we-
guys can see with sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do we have contact with Glades at all if they could
Oh,
hear us?
Down here.
T-Stack.
So Taylor Stack is currently leading the men's race with David Norris
Wow.
behind.
Okay.
This race is shaking up big time.
Where is Dan?
As you guys can see with these lead men, they look like they're floating down this technical descent, which they are. A lot of people were slipping and they're making it look easy. I think a big key to seeing who's comfortable in this terrain.
Andy.
Oh, let's
Cam's-
go, Andy. Is seeing
go,
how
Andy.
far back they sit and they just let their legs in front of them.
David and Taylor supposedly coming through the bottom of the glades together.
Wow. That's a shakeup. That's interesting. Okay.
That is a shakeup. Taylor Stack, David Norris. Oh, this looks like
it's-
David Norris
Yeah,
kid.
David's
Oh,
in the
there.
lead.
Yeah.
Holy
Wow. This is
moly.
so close.
Oh my gosh, this is nail biting, folks. This is something where you
Taylor
really you hold on and try not to fall because there's someone right behind you.
Oh my goodness.
If this is the way it shakes out to the finish, like I'm not
Here you go,
surprised
Dan.
with David Norris, and I'm not
Wow.
obviously not
Oh,
surprised
he
with
looked
Taylor.
like he almost lost it right there. Holy crap.
Wow. But this is, I mean, career defining for Taylor if he's able to
Yes.
pull this off. Like big deal for him.
Big deal. It looks like that is such a slippery
They
section.
put a decent gap on third place.
Wow.
We still
Can
haven't
you turn
seen
the
third.
camera? There we
Can
go.
we turn the camera back up the hill on the men's race?
Yeah, Julian, he really is.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Oh, Mason, right there
Mason
in the
in
purple
third.
shorts.
Let's go.
Looks like he's flying from his pixelation. Wow, as you guys can see, these conditions are tough.
We should see Cam come by any second now too. He's maybe a few seconds back.
Oh.
Ooh.
Just a reminder, top 4 men will make this team currently. David Norris, Taylor Stack, Mason Copey. We're waiting to see our 4th man right here, but those are 3 men that are going to be very, very difficult to catch at this point. They are all world-class descenders.
I would still be terrified of Dan, even if he's sitting back in 5th or 6th, because once this does shake out to a road, I think he's good on those things. I mean, this is great. Here comes Allie on the Newberry Trail.
Yes, thank you for that.
All right.
Allie Mack currently leading the women's race on this second loop. We will event. Oh, well, this is a race, folks.
Is that Lauren right there?
That's Lauren
You're right.
Gregory
It's a sick outfit.
and Anna Gibson. Wow.
Catching back up.
This is
What a
close.
race. For those folks who don't know, Lauren Gregory is coming off an injury, and Anna Gibson is coming off having just run Zagama last weekend. This is quite the matchup.
I got to give so many props to Anna Gibson, like
Me
flying
too.
across the world to come back and,
Yeah.
First
don't even know what to-
marathon distance race.
Yeah,
and
it's
for it to be
crazy.
Zagama, no less.
Yes, that is a tough turnaround.
Like you don't even know what time
Oh,
zone
it's
you're
not
in.
over yet.
Courtney
Courtney
Coppinger.
Coppinger
Wow.
looking just as strong.
What's up, man?
And she has made up such that gap.
Hanging in there.
If
And she made up
Courtney-
more of the gap on the downhill, so we may see even more from
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
She's looking incredible.
I'm getting nervous about this men's race. Do we need to also have the finish line cam up?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, if we could have both cams up, that would be awesome because those guys were absolutely flying on that descent.
Paul said he can see them
see them
coming. Can
coming.
we
All right.
get
Yeah,
the
let's get the
finish line
finish line.
cam?
I'm sitting at the. Okay, let's get the finish line up ASAP.
Please, please. Oh, Paul means he will see them coming. Okay. This is Rena in 5th place.
She is having an incredible race.
Yeah, very smooth.
Very smooth. Those top 3 women are particularly world class. 4th place, Courtney is also currently in the top 10 of the Golden Trail World Series, also world class. So what a great race for this young athlete, currently sitting in 5th. And just a reminder, only the top 3 women will be making the USA team this year.
And this race is not even close to over.
Yes, it is 4 women for 3 spots. That's what we call great racing.
Yeah.
Ali Ostrander.
Wow, look at that.
We know we have some Alio fans in the chat.
Very calm, very smooth. Like some of the climbing, the women look amazing with some of these climbs. So
yes,
very, very composed.
Ali Ostrander currently in 6th. Oh, might have took a little bit of a wrong turn there.
It's actually in. Oh no, she's in 6th. You're right. Whoop whoop, Alio.
I'm gonna guess maybe we'll see Rachel Tomaszek or Casey Enman coming up pretty soon.
You got to think like Rachel is racing this very strategically, like with so much experience that like she's probably, I guess her goal would be just to continue to move up.
Yes, and for the folks in the chat, it is 4 men and 3 women because Grayson Murphy was the world champion 2 years ago, so she automatically takes one of the women's spots. And we've said it before and we'll say it again. We don't agree. It should be only 4 women in that case. It should be 5 women, but those are the rules as of right now for the World Championships.
So we still haven't seen a 7th place woman. So that top 5 has quite a bit of space.
This here is our finish line. So we should see the men coming in. The last time we saw them, David Norris was leading. Oh, we have some finger
Somebody's
points.
Pointing, yeah.
We are about to be
here we go
crowning our new men's Mountain Classic champion.
Wow.
And our USA team. So hope you guys are feeling patriotic in the chat because these top 4 men that we see come through will be representing Team
That's
USA
David Norris.
this September.
Wow.
That's David Norris.
David Norris gets it done.
Yes.
Wow.
The stoke is high.
Mason
Holy
Kobe
cow.
right
Mason
there.
2
Stacking,
seconds.
let's go. And Taylor Stacking
Taylor
third.
Stack in 3rd.
Wow.
Some stoked women. All right, who is our 4th man?
Wow.
So those top 3 are
It
currently
could be Cam,
our
it could
team.
be Andy.
It could be anybody. Holy cow. I mean, I would gather to say they came within 5 seconds of each other.
Easily.
What a race.
So close. And Mason to be able to go try and, to be able to catch Taylor just at the end. That's crazy.
Wow, those 3 men really pulled away.
Oh, I'm getting so nervous for this 4th spot.
Oh, Cam Smith pulls it off. Wow.
So that's David Norris as your winner. Mason was 2nd, right?
Yeah, Mason 2nd.
Taylor Stack in 3rd, and Cam Smith in
Andy
4th.
Wacker in 5th place.
Andy Wacker going to make another Team USA. Wow.
He'll be first alternate for us in Spain this September.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow, that race was so close.
Wait, did we miss? Did someone come before Andy, or was Andy?
I think Andy was 5th. Yeah, Cam Smith came 4th.
Okay, I must have missed on Cam. Okay, wow.
Yeah, buddy.
It's hard to tell who's finishing.
That looked like a college jersey.
Yeah.
High school girl.
Andy was 5th, yes.
Okay,
Cam
Andy
Smith
was
was 4th. Wow, what a team we are sending. David Norris, previous Mount Marathon champion, taking the win. This looks like a finisher.
Yeah!
Oh, no, she's just coming through for the first lap.
Oh, this is a high school race, I believe.
The stoke is
okay.
high.
That makes sense.
Yep.
This is Dan right here, right?
So we have David Norris, Mason Copy, Taylor Stack, And Cam Smith will be representing USA this September.
Wow.
Oh, could we get the finish line?
I think Dan was 6th. It's hard to say. I heard
There we
someone say
go.
nice job, Dan. So
Yes, I heard that as well.
Definitely switch us over to the women's when you guys see them. But for now, let's hang out at the finish line.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, thanks.
Nice job, man.
He was finished. Who is that red jersey?
Wow, that we had his name in the chat earlier, and that's Talon Hull.
My voice cracked. It's fine. Still young.
You guys are just crushing it in this chat. I'm trying to find.
You okay?
Yeah, Dan Kurtz. It looks like Dan actually finished, is what Paul said. So yeah, we probably missed him when they said Dan.
Yeah. I haven't been able to use my ass since.
That was Zach Erickson, I believe. That was red shirt.
Way to go, I just wanted to make calves. I didn't know if they fell or. I mean, yeah, we did some nice sliding.
For those folks, we once again David Norris in first place, Mason Copy in second place, Taylor Stack in third place, and Cam Smith in fourth place, and Andy Wacker rounding out the top 5. The top 4 will be representing us this September, and it was a very, very, very close race.
Can we mute the start finish for now? Thank you. Okay. Any estimates on when the women will hit the glades? That's a great question. Anybody out there on the course have an idea? I like this. We need a dedicated camera on the 77-year-old. I agree. Yes. Probably crushing the souls of some of those 14-year-olds, to be honest. Eric LaPuma trying not to miss his flight. Oops, sorry, guys. Paul Kirsch says now for the glades. I wish it was a spoon that hits the floor. I'm getting really hungry, you guys. Sorry, guys. We are still waiting for the top women.
So it did end up taking the men not that much slower than, even though the course was longer, like 5 minutes.
10 minutes? Because Dan finished in 61, and I bet they came through like 5 minutes ago at this point.
Yeah.
And so Allie Mack ran 1:11 on this course last year. So
2 years ago.
Can probably expect, or sorry, 2 years ago. So can probably guess like around 120 to 125 for the women, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Brandon, we unfortunately do not have the high school results, but maybe Paul can put some of them in the chat for us, and we will let you guys know if we get those.
Yeah, so this was the high school and the collegiate championship as well. So there's, I think there was a pretty solid prize purse up for the collegiate athletes.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
We don't have the full top 10, but there we go. Right on the bottom of the screen.
Okay, yeah.
As you can see, it is a lot of the names that were mentioned on every preview for this race. And yeah, the race was an incredible race, and there's currently no women in the Glades yet. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate that. Yeah, David Norris taking the win. Was that an upset? Probably not. The man has won Mount Marathon before, which is one of the most technical and difficult races in the world, especially when it's wet. And today's conditions, like, you had to be an incredible technical runner.
Yeah, it's a big shout out to David Norris. That's why he calls himself the Grandmaster. So yeah, the guy is no surprise there. I think that no surprise really. I mean, I think Taylor Stack really, that was really not a surprise, but just super exciting for him in his young career.
Yes.
Cam as well, for Cam to come back and get himself, on another Team USA. I think that means a lot to him. So it's exciting.
Definitely.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know Cam Smith's story, he was on the team in 2022 in Thailand. We were talking about this the other day, Dani. So he tore his ACL, and then he came back from his torn ACL, and did he pull his shoulder or tear it again the day he was cleared to run?
Yeah, less than 24 hours later, I think he either cracked his collarbone or tore his rotator cuff.
It was like labrum, something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
So when it comes to mental fortitude and tenacity, that man is the epitome of it. Just multiple injuries and still comes and makes it Team USA, which is awesome. I also was just thinking, having run a handful of these races in my career, what a time in our sport where literally any of these men in the top 10 would have been incredible picks for Team USA. These short races are so deep. And I imagine if you go even 15 or 20 men deep, we could have made 4 versions of a team that would have been a medal contender.
Yeah, it is just crazy how competitive this sport has gotten, and just how the level, this team USA, both men and women's side, this team's going to compete for medals at Worlds. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, I am noticing that Christian Allen is in the top 10.
No, I think that was, maybe it's possible that he was a drop or he followed through to the finish. It's tough to say. Like we said, he, is coming back from a stress reaction. I'm sure he wanted to see where things were at, especially ahead of Broken Arrow. So yeah, I think Christian's still probably feeling things out a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. And for Steve, I believe we will see the women crest over this hill before they drop into the Glades.
Yeah.
So we will see them run up this before they descend down.
And we're still... Yeah, we may, once the women get to women's ATV, we may want to split screen between women's ATV and the Glades, because I think they get there relatively quickly.
Yes.
But for now, we are just waiting at women's ATV for the women to get to the summit here. They are an hour and 5 minutes into their race. So we should be seeing them any moment now.
Yes, and just a reminder, the top 3 women will be making the USA team. Just to repeat that once again, because that is critical information for today, as Grayson Murphy already has a spot being our world champion from 2023. The last time we saw the women, Allie McLaughlin and Lauren Gregory were basically step in step, followed closely behind by Anna Gibson and Courtney Coppinger, trying to find her way into one of those top 3 spots.
And then we saw Allie Ostrander in 5th place, but then we did not see any other women come through that Newberry Trail.
No, I believe we had the trail team.
Rena
was before Allie, but then after that, we didn't see anybody else come through before we switched to the men.
And we will know as soon as we see Allie McLaughlin up front, because she has a very distinct uphill form. Basically, the person who is speeding across the top will be Allie McLaughlin. If she's leading, or maybe Lauren, or maybe Anna, or maybe Courtney.
Could be anybody. It's so
could be anybody at this point.
Lauren Gregory has been the U.S. vertical champion twice now, but we also know that Allie Mack was our world champion in the vertical a couple of years ago. So incredible climbers. Anna Gibson was second last year at the Broken Arrow VK to Joyce. So it could be any of them.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's this one's a nail biter. It's so close. Yeah, maybe split cam for sure.
Anticipation is high here. Okay, high school top men are now on the bottom of the screen for those of you who asked. Oh, and the women who have come through at some point. Still waiting on those collegiate results.
Wonder if that wind is still whipping. Looks like maybe it died down a little bit. It's hard to say.
Oh, those grasses look like they're moving.
Yeah, it's so nasty up there. Oh man, yeah. Looks cold. I don't know. Okay, so we got some shots of the glades. So we should see the women come down anytime now.
Heather Lucero asked, where is Allie Ostrander? The last time we saw her, she was in 6th place. But those top 6 women were probably within like 90 seconds of each other. Still no women to the summit, which is interesting. I'm going to go see what the women's CR on that Sunapee Scramble full descent is. Grayson Murphy last year ran 9:18. So Morgan Elliott ran 7:54 on the final descent last year as the fastest time. Grayson 9:18. And we're speculating that the women will finish somewhere between an hour and 20 and hour 30. We're currently at an hour 10 into this race, but the final descent takes less than 10 minutes probably. So once they get to the top, it'll happen fast. Has anyone considered putting a follow cam on Allie Mack's dog?
Yeah.
I like it. An Insta 360 mouth cam on Tom Hooper. You guys are going crazy over there.
I know. This live chat's wild.
All right, guys, we got our sponsors up on the field as well. Northeast Delta Dental, who has been working with this race for many years now. Boston Beer Company, Sam Adams, Truly, Never Second, and CertaPro Painters.
While we wait, were you guys surprised by anyone in the top that made the team? I think it was all pretty, like, I don't think there was any surprise in there. Even the top 10.
The men's race was one of those that I didn't have as strong opinions about in terms of who exactly was going to make the team, and I think it was definitely proven that that was the case because I honestly would not have guessed that podium.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel the same way. David Norris I had up there. I was not sure, like, because he races a lot of like Cirque Series races, which are very like, and he's always so nasty so talented at all of them, wins a lot of them. So it was interesting because like that gets world-class talent. It's like, where does that fit in with a lot of these other athletes? And sure enough, like David Norris is him. Like, that was very, yeah. And Mason as well. So big shout out to all these men.
Yeah. Alaska has a plethora of incredible mountain runners that it's tough to travel from Alaska.
We have a finger point from women's ATV.
Here we go. Is that it?
That's Anna Gibson.
Anna Gibson.
Wow.
Has taken over the lead.
Wow.
Can we go? Can we have the camera once she passes go back to the top?
Wow. And that guy just
fell.
Wow. I mean, coming from Zagama, this probably feels right at home. What a turn.
Hammering.
She is hammering.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
All right. So we've got like 10 minutes for Anna Gibson to get down this hill, and that is wild.
I want to see what's going on behind her. Wow, she is crushing. Oh, wait, no. Okay.
No, that's a man.
I was like,
okay.
This is a decent little gap.
She hammered that second uphill. She did look so good on that first lap. Oh, pointing.
Got somebody. Is that
who's hunting?
Allie?
It looks like
Yep.
Allie Mack.
Okay.
Wow.
That's about a 30-second gap that Anna Gibson put on Allie.
And Lauren Gregory right behind her.
Okay. Wow, this is so close.
Wow, this is going, I mean, they are so close, but at the same time, it's so hard to make up time when you're just all flying downhill.
Yeah.
This is one of those where you hold your breath and you just do not slip because the person right behind you will get you. I mean, Lauren's already making up ground.
I can't imagine. Like, Courtney Cuppinger's got to be right there as well.
She has to be right there. All right, here's Anna.
Anna,
hold on. Do not fall. Smooth. Wow.
Let's see if she held her gap.
1, 2. I mean, it looks like she did. She is looking so good. For those folks who don't know, Anna Gibson, very frequent on the world stage, currently crushing. All right, here's Allie and Lauren.
Woo!
Wow.
Down goes Lauren.
Fall right there. I do know Brooks has put a lot of attention on making shoes just for this occasion.
I think Anna Gibson has made her gap even bigger since she.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think she has.
Yeah, that was definitely more than 30 seconds.
They are not slowing down, though. Holy cow.
So
they are flying. I love just seeing great descenders just lean back and let their legs take them.
So just a reminder that in the women's race, it is only top 3. So far, that's looking like our team unless something drastic happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that? No, that's not Anna. Okay.
And I have to hand it to Anna Gibson. Like, that turnaround from Zagama, flying across the world, that is so crazy. Like, to be able to do that.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Anna Gibson ran Zagama last year, which is a marathon distance, last weekend, which is a marathon distance race that happened in Spain. Her first of that distance, and she was 11th in. Zagama is crazy competitive, so for her to have this turnaround, incredible.
Yeah. So it's hard to tell with the camera sometimes what the gaps are, but Anna Gibson currently has a 40-second lead on Allie McLaughlin and Lauren Gregory.
And at the top, it was 30 seconds, and that was only like 2 minutes later. So
yeah.
Yes.
Whoo!
Holy cow.
We're just waiting for them. This camera here is the base of the descent. Any updates from the top on who was 4th, 5th, and 6th?
Yes, because while the top 3 women will make the team, the 4th place finisher will be our alternate. There's no resume spots in this distance for the Team USA selection.
I'm still curious what's happening. Yeah, in that
Me
fifth,
too.
fourth, fifth. Like, did Courtney move up? Where is Ali Ostrander at? And is Rachel Tomjiak? Did she move up in the in
This
the
looks like
back
a
half?
Brooks kit right here. This might be Courtney. Yep, Courtney looks. Whoop.
Oof.
We're getting full experience.
Switch to dog cams. Yeah, I
It
don't
looks
know.
like Courtney is currently in 4th place, I would gather to say then.
Yeah, unless Rena already passed and we missed it.
That's right.
But Courtney was in 4th earlier, so.
Yes, there is a chance we will hold on to the base of descent and then switch to the finish line cam. As once they pass the base of descent camera, there's not much time left to catch them at the finish line, and then we'll hold there for a little bit of time.
How many miles for the women to the finish? When they hit that ATV cam at the top, they only had 1.7 miles to go, but that 1.7 miles happens in about 10 minutes. So it's fast. Somebody said Ali O took a pretty nasty fall already. I don't know if that was earlier or recent. Yeah, so Anna's got to be coming through this base of descent. And oh, I see somebody fast. Somebody moving quick. Is that Anna? No, that is
maybe one of the
not Anna.
The men's race.
Yeah.
For Ashley asking in the chat about Meg Lacey, Bib 170, I don't think we've seen her yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen her yet. She normally has pink in her hair. I'm not sure if she redyed it or purple, but we haven't seen her yet.
And Lightning Racer calling out for Scott Patterson. That's another former Nordic skier, just like amazing mountain runner as well.
Scott Patterson, hasn't he won Crow's Pass like a million times or something?
I think he won the Rut 28K last year as well. Or yeah, I believe so. Or was up there.
I do not know how far it is from the base of the descent to the finish.
Guys, we're about probably 300 yards away from the finish line here.
Oh.
Okay, base of descent is about 300 yards.
Okay.
We do not know about Brian Atkinson, where he placed. Yeah, so it's safe to say, unless women are like literally next to each other at this point, these will probably be the places to the
Looks like some of the Brooks athletes going up on the course to cheer on other athletes.
Brooks having an absolute day today.
I think that's Taylor Stack and maybe Remy LaRue. It's hard to say.
Yeah, all the men doing their cool down, probably waiting to cheer the women on. So we are an hour and 21 minutes into this race. So Anna should be coming around this corner literally any second now.
I believe Ali Ostrander is the only Wazelle athlete out here today, but don't quote me on that.
Here she comes, guys.
All right.
Looks to be Anna Gibson, I would gather to say. Looks like the Brooks kit.
She's hammering.
Let's go.
Wow.
Absolutely flying. This is her race. Woo. There you go, folks. I think it's safe to say at this point, Anna Gibson is your 2025 Mountain Running Championship champion.
Wait, where are we?
Bring us back to the finish. Up.
Lauren
Gregory in second.
Wow.
Coming off of injury, what a turnaround. And Allie Mack in third
She's
place.
back.
What a freaking women's team to be sending to the World Championships this September.
So close.
What a race, man. Holy cow. And as we've mentioned, only the top 3 women will be being selected today because Grayson Murphy already has a spot, having won the entire World Championship in 2023. But who we see next will be our first alternate. So Anna Gibson taking the lead going into the second lap after being in third after the first lap. What a race.
It's crazy. She didn't even take the lead until almost the top. Because when we saw them at Newberry, she was still in third.
That's
so impressive.
Is that the descent or the ascent?
Newberry
was
the ascent of the second lap.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she she just pushed at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was part of her strategy, she executed it.
Beautiful
so
execution.
Well. Yeah. She probably was like, I'm going to sit here. And then when I go, I go. And looks like Courtney Coppinger wow. What a year for Courtney's having currently. Top 10 in the overall Golden Trail World Series rankings. Signed up for this race. And now is
first
our
alternate.
Incredible first alternate.
Wow.
Wish she was on the team too. What a race from Courtney. Also moved up the field in the second lap. Or going into the second lap. And she looks so strong finishing. What's super cool too is Anna, who got first place, Anna Gibson, Lauren Gregory second, and Courtney in fourth, are all previous track and are currently track stars. So it's just cool to see that crossover. Any of them can be getting top 10 at a USATF road or track race. And here they are choosing the great sport trail running.
And for those of you asking for results for the men, go to iresultslive.com and search for Sunapee. All right.
I do believe there is prize money today. I'm trying to find exactly what the payouts are, but I'm like 98% sure. Wow. That's your women's team, folks. What a race these women
and your
on today.
U.S. champion.
I feel like I'm like waving to Lauren. She can't see us. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite things now. We have the red, white, and blue tickets. I think what's cool about this is there's so much prestige around the golden tickets for Western States. Oh, look at that. Allie Mack making another team. And I just think it's cool to bring this aspect to the sub-ultra world because these people, men and women, are doing incredible feats. And it's just such a cool thing. Wow. All 3 different teams too. Brooks, Nike, and Hoka. If that's not a gold contention team, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
And we talked before this race went off a little bit about like the old guard, the middle-ish guard, and the new guard. And this is pretty solidly old guard. You know, Anna Gibson hasn't made a team, but she has proven herself over the last 2 years. And I'm not surprised by this podium at all.
Looks like we have someone else finishing.
Is that Rena? Yeah.
Yep.
Rena. Wow, what a race from Rena today.
I'm assuming in 5th because we haven't seen
up. Yeah.
Anyone else. Oh, finish line cam going a little haywire here on us, but that's all right. Thank you so much to all the camera people that were out there today. These conditions are hard to get great coverage in, and you guys crushed it. So. Finish line cam, have we had any other people come in after Rena?
Oh, thanks so much, Julian. Look, it's Tom Hooper.
Oh, that was Alio that just came through. I think that I'm assuming that's our 6th place.
Yep. Giant shout out to Alio. I mean, I think she had kind of a limited build going into this race and had like just recently done her 1st or 2nd workout, just coming back. So giant shout out to her to be able to come and throw down here.
Yes.
The results website was iresultslive.com. The letter I, resultslive.com.
And it'll look like that. Yeah, so thank you everyone for tuning in. We now have our 2 USA teams, which is incredibly exciting. If you missed it, on the men's side, David Norris took the win with Mason Copy in 2nd and Taylor Stack in 3rd, along with Cam Smith getting that last Team USA spot. Andy Walker took 5th. And the women's race just finished with the great Anna Gibson taking it. Oh,
so
here we go.
I'm actually going to move. Actually, Anna, let's go down there so we get her away from the mic. I figured you guys could chat with her real quick.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get away from Josh's beautiful vocals at the finish line. So here, Anna, if you want to put this in, and I will switch your account.
This is for the live stream, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, which way do I? Oh, right.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, should I just hold this?
Go for it. Yeah.
Awesome.
I can't see this.
Congratulations.
Let's move on. Yeah, actually, you'll just see yourself.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
You're the focus now.
Okay. How's that?
It's great. Congrats, Anna.
Thank you.
First and foremost, you just pulled off an insane double. How did you go from running your first marathon, Zagama of all marathons, to winning the USA Championship today?
I mean, it was crazy, to be honest. This was a crazy thing to do, and I knew that. So I guess in a way it was great. I think it took a lot of the pressure off of today. Like, I was just kind of running knowing that I'd already had an awesome week regardless, and I just tried to carry forward with a good momentum, but with a little bit less pressure.
Amazing. Anna, what does this mean to you to be the 2025 mountain running champion?
Oh my gosh, it feels so good. I think this is something that I've wanted for a long time in my career, and I've known I was capable of it for a while, but it just took me a long time to be in the right place to pull it off. And I'm super, super excited to do a world year with undeniably the most stacked women's field that there's ever been in a national championship for this distance. So yeah, just super, super excited.
It looks like from watching your race, you put on just an absolute master class. I saw we kind of were very observant for you to kind of take that lead on the 2nd lap on the ascent. Is that where you kind of made your move, or like at what point in the race did you make your move?
I would say it was like maybe halfway up that climb. I started to realize that I was reeling in Allie and Lauren, and I could see them, and I was just getting closer and closer, and I was like, oh, I'm actually kind of starting to feel good. Like the first lap I didn't feel great, and the downhill kind of hit me pretty hard. So yeah, it took me a little while to come around, but I think it was like a really solid, unintentionally conservative race strategy that left me feeling a lot fresher at the end.
Amazing. Congratulations.
And
Thank
question
you.
for what's next. Are you planning to try to make the vertical team as well in the next month?
Yeah, I mean, that was the big goal for me. Like, I always thought I had a better chance of making that team. So definitely going to try for the vertical. And I'm racing the 23K at Broken Arrow as well to use as Golden Trail points. And then I'm racing Steamboat Gravel on my bike. the last weekend of June. So super excited. It's gonna be a crazy month.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
So if you want to give, sorry, they're weird. Like this goes like
just put them in.
Ear.
Thank you. You know
This is our second place finisher, Lauren
holy.
Gregory.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hi. What am I supposed to say? Oh, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can hear
hello,
you.
Lauren.
Oh, shoot.
it going?
Hello. Wait, who is this?
It's going to be Dani or EmKay.
Oh, Dani and EmKay? Question mark?
Hello.
And I'll
Hi, you guys. I can't see you.
And James
I'm
from
here
the Steve
too.
Stuff Pod.
So yeah, you're actually
Oh, hi, James.
Screen, so
Oh.
cool.
Oh, that's impossible for me. What's up?
Congratulations on your second or third US team. Well, actually, not including junior teams.
Second, then. Yeah.
Second, yeah.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? We know that you've been dealing with some injuries, so to see you come in second, it has to feel incredible today.
Yeah. I mean, goals are always like pretty lofty, but always happy to just get the job done because you never know. But yeah, like I'm glad that this is where fitness is at, and it's promising that I can like keep building from here. So I'm really excited for the summer now that I've kind of wrapped up the old injury. But yeah, super stoked.
Lauren, congratulations. I got to ask you about your race. Obviously, Ali took it out super fast at a super high level. I got to ask you this, where did you get separation from her? How were you able to get separation on the final descent?
Oh, I don't remember exactly when. We did just kind of run together for most of the second loop, which was like honestly really comforting. Probably when it started to like flatten out and just get like a little more gradual. It was just so muddy, so it's like hard to pick the right line, and I think if someone kind of stumbles, you can get a couple feet, and then obviously that last little bit is just so open. So I just tried to like kick it in like it's a 5K or something. So maybe towards the end, but we did run most of the second loop together.
Amazing.
That's awesome. And I know currently you're signed up for Broken Arrow. Is that still the plan to go out to Tahoe after this race?
Yeah, I'm totally stoked for that. Yeah, we'll see how everything's feeling tomorrow. Yes, yeah, I wasn't holding it because I'm a princess, but now I'm holding it. Yeah, but I'm not racing the ascent, just the 20 whatever K. So I'm glad I checked the box for the world team because this is my only shot.
All right, so Lauren Gregory, just the up-down team. We won't see her on the BK team.
No.
I'm actually
So
quite
glad this
surprised
is
by
done.
that.
Your girl does not like the uphill only. Like I just look forward to the downhill. So this was the hope. There was really no other shot.
Well, we're stoked to see you on the team, and congratulations again.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Okay, bye.
So these are like,
Oh, damn.
Lauren,
What'd you do? Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice job.
Oh,
I'm excited to go back and watch your guys' race.
Hey, Cam, can you hear us?
Hey, yeah, I can.
What's up,
Is this
Cam?
EmKay and Dani and James?
Yes.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Congratulations, Cam.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm stoked. That was wet and wild and crazy, and yeah, stoked. I've gotten it done.
That's awesome. We saw you absolutely charging up that first climb. How were the legs and mind feeling, going into that first descent?
Yeah, really good. So it starts out crazy steep, like going up the ski run here, and I thought I'd be able to push towards the front, and I couldn't. I think I was holding back maybe a little bit more than some, and then sort of fighting for position on the road and closed up to the to Christian and Mason and Dan. No, and Andy, who were kind of leading the race. And then at around 10 minutes, I felt it sort of lag, and I thought the harder that climb was, the better it would be for me. Like that was really the only card I had to play, because I've never been to the Northeast before, so I had no idea how the trails and downhill would go, but I knew that I could climb hard. So I was like, all right, this is my like one card to play, my one chance. So I was pushing the pace a little bit there, and I couldn't really shake everyone, but at least I was running the pace I wanted to, and what got to the top just barely in front. Like Mason was on my shoulder, and Taylor and Andy and Dan were all close, and Tyler McCandles too. But yeah, I was just trying to make it hard, just take it out hard, and see if I could whittle things down.
Amazing. Kim, you're back on Team USA. What does this mean to you, man?
Oh, I'm stoked. I had such a good time last time. Like that was one of the best best memories of my life, to like be out there and represent the country, and just be on a team of such cool people and such just like part of that camaraderie and effort to do well as a team and see a new place, and it was a blast, and I'm thrilled to do it again because I think the team will be even stronger this time.
Big time. Big time.
And will you be going for the vertical team as well, or is this it for you?
Yeah, for sure. That was my intent was to just go for the ascent, and that's what I was kind of like locked in all winter. And Tom was messaging me like, "Oh, you coming? You coming?" And it was. It's been a tight turnaround. Like my last Skimo World Cup was about 6 weeks ago, and it's just barely turning into spring in Crested Butte. I've been running a little bit, and I was like, man, like this is kind of the last sort of race that I'm trained for right now. Like, haven't been running on trails, haven't really been pushing any downhills, like never been on this kind of trail and kind of environment. And like 6 weeks after one race season is sort of like when you expect to be at your lowest. So I was like, man, like this is probably my worst chance, but I would feel so dumb if I was going for the ascent and just had one bad day and put all my eggs in that basket. And that ascent's going to be so hard that I just didn't want to have any regrets if I ended up fifth or a step or two off the pace in the ascent. So I was like, all right, I'll go for it anyway, and if it works, it works. But and it did work, and so now I'll go for both because the ascent is probably the one that I can help the team more so in Spain.
Yeah, well, you are a previous Broken Arrow VK champion, so we're excited to see you vying for that team again.
Thanks. Yeah, I feel much better about that one than today, so hopefully it works out for me.
Amazing.
Well, congrats again. Thanks, Kim.
Congrats.
Ryan, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. I'm really excited to go back and watch the live stream.
Can I put your ticket on your
Oh,
bag?
sweet.
They're flowing.
Oh, cool.
Or
Like over ear ones.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's Dani Moreno EmKay Sullivan and James Lauriello.
Oh, awesome.
Lauriello are the people that you'll be talking to. You
Sweet.
can't see them.
Sounds good.
Can you hear
All
us,
right.
Taylor?
Yeah, I got you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, congratulations, Taylor.
Sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I'm super stoked. Pretty ideal day out there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I could speak for everyone. I mean, like, just an amazing result. Probably your biggest result to date, which is crazy. This is like, definitely your star performance from you. What does it mean to you to make Team USA?
I mean, that was the biggest goal going into this year, really, and definitely going into the race. Like, I was just hoping for top four, and I know, there were probably like 10 to 15 guys out there who are talented and fit enough to like have a real shot at it. And I was one of them. And I'm so happy that I was able to put it together on the day and get the job done. So pretty fun. Yeah.
I loved how you asserted yourself into the race very early on. Like there was really no point where you were out of contact from the front guys. Is there anything we missed maybe in the live stream that we didn't see, or were you kind of, from what we could see, you were in contact with the front group?
Yeah, I definitely tried to like stay in contact, but also save some gas on the first lap. Like I was intentionally like resisting the urge to like really send it and like go up there with like the front guys on the first lap and save a little bit of energy, because I knew that the second lap was going to punch pretty hard. And I think, I'm really happy with my tactical race. I think I saved the perfect amount of energy, and then I was able to attack the second climb and was in first place at the top. And then Mason and David just had insane downhills and ate me up. But yeah, it was fun. There was a lot of movement, a lot of excitement out there. So super fun race.
You were fifth at the mountain running championships last year. What did you do between last year and this year that really turned it around, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm fitter than I was last year in terms of just mileage and workouts and consistency. So I think that, and also more experience with last year was my first year really like running competitive trail races. So I think having a year of experience under the belt and better training, probably, yeah.
Do you plan to go for the VK team as well?
Yep, I'll be at Broken Arrow and doing the ascent. So yeah, going for the VK team and then the 23K a couple days later. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, huge top 3 finish for you, Taylor. As far as just like overall, like how long this was a goal and how much confidence, like, is this going to elevate your confidence, or how are you going to approach this time between now and Broken Arrow?
Yeah, it's definitely a confidence booster. You know, I think I have had really good training and I feel good about my fitness, but I wasn't sure where, you know, I was going to stack up in such a competitive field. And I think this gave me the confidence that, you know, I can run with the best guys in the country right now. And the training's working, and, you know, carry that confidence into Broken Arrow and run like I belong there. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we're excited to see you out there, and congrats again. Thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Taylor.
Appreciate it. Yeah, super fun. I will try to pass this off. I don't know if you guys are trying to talk to someone next here.
Is David Norris floating around over there? Or Ali Mack?
Let's see. Ali Mack is in an interview with Andy right now.
Okay.
I don't see David.
You see Mason
currently.
around?
Mason, I don't see him. He disappeared pretty early. Let's see.
Are you all set?
Yeah, I'm all set. Here, I'll pass it off here.
All right. So,
Sorry.
I don't know what you were. Hey, everybody. So I think that's going to be it for interviews because everybody else is in drug testing from the tops. So I think that's it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Huge thanks to our 3 commentators. Always see, there's the cowbell for you, Dani. But yeah, just huge thanks to all 3 of you for keeping this interesting and everything. And that's it for this year's U.S. Mountain Running Championships. Thanks, everybody.
And everyone,
Thanks for
thank
having
Paul
us.
too.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Such a big part of this. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, go Team USA.
Yeah.
Woo!